For many, making homemade chowder can feel tricky, too bland, too heavy, or not just quite right. This corn chowder gives you the secrets for amazing depth of flavor and the flexibility to make it as thick as you'd like. One of the secrets to making amazing flavor in this chowder is making corn broth from the cobs. Start by removing the husks and silks and rinsing the cobs well. Then use a large chef's knife to make a shallow first cut, just enough to take the tops off the kernels without cutting into the woody cob. Place the flat side on the cutting board to keep it steady and work your way around until the kernels are off. Cut the cobs in half and they're ready to simmer into a broth. Even if your corn isn't freshly picked, like mine wasn't here, this step still builds incredible depth of flavor. To make the broth, simmer the cobs with herbs, Parmesan rinds, and water for about an hour. After, the liquid will take on a sweet nutty aroma and will reduce slightly. In a separate Dutch oven, cook bacon strips over medium heat until crisp and transfer to a paper towel lined plate. Pour off all but 1 to 2 tablespoons of the rendered fat. Here's a little old school wisdom. Never pour bacon grease down the drain unless you want a plumber on speed dial. This classic trick is to keep an old glass jar by the stove, pour the grease in, and when the jar is full, just toss it in the trash. This simple, tidy approach can save you thousands of dollars. To the remaining bacon fat, add the onion, celery, and potatoes. Cook over medium heat until the veggies are softened. So here's a question, can you spot the mistake I made? At this point, you would normally add in the garlic and let it cook for 1 minute before adding the flour. Because the garlic doesn't need to cook for very long, it's not a big deal. Once your flour has cooked for a few minutes, slowly pour in the heavy whipping cream a little at a time. The heavy cream is going to give the chowder a luxurious creamy base, but the flour will determine the thickness. Within the recipe post, I share proportions of flour to achieve your desired thickness. In a similar fashion, gradually stir in the warm corn broth until everything is well combined. Add in a pinch of cayenne pepper, the corn kernels, and half of the bacon. Bring to a gentle simmer over medium-high heat and then lower to low. Cook until the potatoes are tender and the chowder has slightly thickened. Taste test and adjust the level of salt and pepper. This chowder is delicious garnished with the remaining crisp bacon, freshly cut chives, and oyster crackers. If you have the time though, it's amazing served with either my soft sourdough bread or freshly baked sourdough baguettes. For more recipes like this and for weekly inspiration, make sure to head on over to thefedupfoodie.com and sign up for my newsletter where I share recipes and tips in helping to make cooking from scratch approachable.